As we continue our coverage of Donald Trump's guilty verdict in his New York criminal trial, it's important to keep emphasizing the historic, unprecedented moment our country is in. Never before has a former American president been indicted and convicted in a criminal case, let alone while running for president again. Our nation has never seen anything like this, but a look back at our history might offer some clues about how to move forward. So let's ask Michael Beschloss, NBC News presidential historian and author of Presidents of War. Michael, as always, thank you very much for coming to the show.
Great to be together, as always. Thank you.
We have a guilty verdict against a former president on 34 criminal counts while he's also running for president. There's no legal or political precedent for what we are witnessing. But how does this compare to other destabilizing moments in our history?
Well, I think the choice is actually pretty clear. You know, we've got a convicted felon, but, you know, in days of yore, if a convicted felon had run, let's say, for alderman, which was probably about as high as he or she would have aspired until the last couple of decades, that person would have said, I served my time, I learned my lesson, I have remorse. There's going to be no one more zealous than I am in enforcing our legal system. Instead, you know, you and I saw that rant at the bottom of the brass elevator in Trump Tower yesterday by the presumed Republican nominee of this year. And he's saying the system is rotten. I want to dismantle parts of the Constitution. I think that people should not respect the law. And so when you've got someone who is promising at the same time to be dictator for a day, and it'll never be for a day, as you know, it'll be for 4 years, if not for his lifetime, if that begins. At the same time as he's saying, I'm going to dismantle our rule of law, which is the glory of America, keeps the peace, assures fairness when it works for all Americans. You've got dictatorship and anarchy at the same time. Do you, Jonathan, think that a majority of Americans is going to vote for dictatorship and anarchy in November? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But however, we have seen some things, Michael, these last few years.
We have seen things we never expected.
Right. So the founding fathers seemed to have prepared for every threat to the republic that they created, but they didn't appear to have a convicted felon running for president on their bingo card. Would they be appalled by what happened on Thursday, meaning this former president, current candidate for president, being convicted on felony charges by a jury of his peers?
Most of the founders would cry if they saw what Donald Trump has been accused of and now convicted of, 34 felonies. Because they assumed when the Constitution was written, and you and I know these founders were by no means perfect people,
flawed.
But they thought that they had established a system that would keep convicted criminals out of the presidency. They assumed that anyone who ran for president would have the decency and the love of country and the knowledge of how hard it was to achieve our independence, that there would only be people of good character, like George Washington. And the other thing that they thought they had done was established a system, an electoral college, decentralized voting by states, other things, as well as an American public that would not willingly vote for a convicted criminal to be their president. They thought that that was so unlikely. You know, you can read the record of the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. There's not one word about what should we put in the Constitution to make sure that no convicted criminal becomes president. That's how far this country, sadly, has come. But I don't think a convicted criminal is going to be elected this fall.
And we've got less than a minute left, Michael. But what can Americans do to ensure that we get through this with our republic intact, especially because there are fears of political violence and calls for retribution?
This is going to be a 5 months period and maybe more of a kind that we have never seen before, sadly. We should brace ourselves and expect the worst. Hostile countries who want Trump elected, doing things in the world that make it look chaotic so that they can say Joe Biden is not in control. Upheaval fomented in the cities so that Donald Trump can say to the suburban women, let's say outside Philadelphia, you may not like me, but without me, you will not have law and order. expect this. If we're lucky, it won't happen. If we're not lucky, it will. And make sure that through all of this, that central choice is preserved, that people understand this is a choice between Joe Biden, who loves democracy, and Donald Trump, who wants to bring you both dictatorship and anarchy at the same time. Make sure that people understand that's our choice.